Hello, everyone. Welcome to Diego Knows. I am Diego, and today we are going to talk about Sex in the City, the original show from the late 90s and the early 2000s, back when the show was good. We just finished up season one of And Just Like Crap, and what a piece of shit show that was. All right, but we're not going to talk about that today. Today we're going to talk about the good episodes. All right, back when the show was new and it was like it was like the coolest thing in the world back in the day. I remember that time. I used to I watched the show because a lot of the girls that I worked with, especially the pretty girls, okay, they all watched the show and they would talk about it every time a new episode would drop. They would talk about it the next day at work, and and it became a big conversation piece. And I wanted to find out what the hell they're talking about. Who are these people they're talking about? Big, and who's Charlotte and Miranda and all. I didn't know who these people were, so I started watching the show. I had HBO, because I was watching Sopranos, and which I love that show. And so I started watching Sex and the City, and sure enough, I ended up liking the show. I was like, okay, well, here's a cool perspective. You don't really see this in chick flicks, Usually it's just the typical stuff. This was more about like, okay, well, they're talking about about sex from a woman's point of view. I thought that was pretty enlightening and groundbreaking at the time, especially considering that the women on the show were all in their mid to late 30s, or in Samantha's case in her 40s. So these weren't young women. I mean, younger. I can say that now, even though I'm older than that now. But anyway, so yeah, it was pretty interesting. To see a different perspective. On sex. I lived in Chicago at the time. I lived in near downtown Chicago, so I worked in that area. So I knew all about like the clubs, the restaurants, the Broadway shows, the theater area, all that kind of stuff. I knew all that whole area there, the tourist attractions, the nightclubs, all that stuff. I was very involved in that scene. Me and a lot of my friends were. So we were kind of familiar with that, with living in the big city, what it was like. It's totally different from living like in a suburb, or living out in the country or something like that. I mean, living city life is it's a whole different animal. It's a different way of thinking, a different way of living your life. And the show reflected that. These women were all single, they all had no kids, and they were all like professionals, and they were just living in the city. None of them even drove. None of them even like had a car. Okay, which is very realistic when you live in the city, a big city like Chicago, and in this case, New York. So yes, the show is a big hit. I already finished reviewing season one, and it got me thinking a lot about like not just like what the show's about, but it got me to refamiliarize myself with the characters, and some of the good things I liked about the show. I really enjoyed Big's character, and Big comes back in this episode. I think that was kind of the hook to get you to watch season two, was what's going to happen to Carrie now that Big's gone. Well, he's gone, but he's not gone. Okay, he's still lingering there, in the back of Carrie's mind, and that's a big focus on that in this episode. Now, this is season two, episode one, and the episode's called "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Okay, so basically, there's gonna be a lot of baseball puns and metaphors sprinkled throughout this entire episode. Everything she writes about is gonna be something to do with baseball. Getting to first base. Going over my stats. That kind of stupid shit like that. Okay, so it starts off with Carrie smoking a lot, and she's wearing a lot of fur coats for some reason, and she's smoking like crazy. I remember when I used to smoke too, and she's thinking about Big all the time. She starts hallucinating him everywhere. She thinks she sees him everywhere, but but it turns out being somebody else. Okay, but she's afraid to go to all these different places, because she calls them emotional landmines. These places that remind her of all the things that she did with Big. And it brings up her feelings, and she tries to avoid that stuff. She doesn't want to run into him again. She can't stop thinking about him, but she doesn't want to go to those places that she went to with him, because it's just going to bring it all up again, and it's going to hurt her feelings, and she doesn't want to feel that again. And let me tell you something. When you start off an episode like this, it's a good emotional hook. Okay, because most of us have felt that way before. Okay, we felt that way about exes. We don't want to go to the same place, because we remember the last time we were there was with our ex, and we were happy at that time, not knowing what was in front of us, what was going to happen. And now we just avoid those places. Out of sight, out of mind. And that's what Carrie tries to do here. I've done that myself. I think we've all done that to some point. Where we're just when you end a relationship, whether it's her ending it with you or you ending it with her, out of sight, out of mind is the best policy. You don't want to really be reminded over and over again about this person. You don't want to see pictures of you and them again. You don't want to go to the places that you used to go to with them. You don't want to listen to the same songs, or eat the same food, or watch the same shows, or, just, that kind of stuff. It's like, you've got to learn how to detach from people, that you were once close to. And the first thing you need to do when you do that is, keep them out of sight, out of mind. Don't, block them on your phone. Don't talk to them again. Block them on your social media. You know, don't hang out with their friends anymore. Well, usually they won't. Their friends won't hang out with you anymore when that happens. And just and try to just keep yourself low key. Just hang out with your friends, the friends that you had before her, or before your partner. You hang out with them, okay? Because they know what you're going through or whatever. But don't ask about that other person. Don't stalk them. Don't try to find out what they're doing or who they're dating now or anything. Stay away from that shit. Okay, live your own life. And Carrie's trying to do that, but she still sees big everywhere. And the problem is her. She just can't get over him. She's still, it's probably the best relationship she's ever had in her life. And let me tell you something. If when I think about Carrie and I think about who Big is compared to who Carrie is, like I've said this before, Big is way above her on the sexual market value. Okay, he's way up there. Okay, he's the kind of guy that doesn't really have to seduce women. Women come to him. So Carrie is obviously Carrie's attracted to him, just like hundreds of millions of other women are. She's got feelings for him, just like hundreds of other women would love to have feelings for him, and be reciprocated. But she can't get over him, which is just a typical thing. The show is showing it from the female point of view, but from a man's point of view, from a guy's point of view, me watching this, all I'm thinking about is, okay, you know what, Carrie, you're not going to meet any guy. Okay, no guy is going to take you seriously. You know why? Because you're hung up on this guy. You're hung up on a guy who's out of your league. Okay, you dumped him. Oh my God, that's like getting $1 million and giving it back. It's like you dumped him, and now you're not necessarily having second thoughts, or buyer's remorse or anything, but she's like, she hasn't resolved it. Okay, she still wants him, but she doesn't want him, and that's causing her emotional pain. She hasn't really picked her side yet. She made her decision, but her heart hasn't caught up to her mind yet. So she's still going back and forth, with him, with her feelings for him. And I was like, ladies, those of you that are out there going through this before or have been through this before, all right, damn well you're not going to meet anyone special or anyone with any sort of substance as long as you're still there. Okay, you're not. Okay, you'll probably have sex with other guys or other people. You'll probably get into other relationships. Okay, but you're never going to be happy with this other person until you get over the shit that you're still going through. Okay. A lot of people distract themselves, they put it off, or they use people to help them feel better about themselves while they're going through a breakup, But, I think that's what Carrie's going to attempt to do that here. She's going to try to date somebody else in order to numb herself from what she's feeling about Big, because she hasn't dated anybody else, since her and Big broke up like I think a month ago, and she still hasn't dated anybody else or even tried to date anybody else, And her friends want her to start going out there again, put herself out there again, but I think she's afraid that that she can't do it because she's not over Big yet. So she might end up just using somebody, which is pretty realistic. I mean, the rebound, and it's called a rebound for a reason. Okay, it's not there because you have any sort of exceptional feelings for this person. Usually rebounds are people that you already knew before. You just didn't see them that way, and now that you're alone, you've got all this pain that you don't want to feel anymore. So what do? You just fuck somebody else. Try to replace it like that. And of course, it's not going to work. I mean, the sex might even be better or something, but the emotional attachment's not going to be there. You're going to try to make it up, try to pretend you've got an emotional attachment when you don't. Okay, if this person isn't someone you hooked up with already, okay, you probably weren't really attracted to that person to begin with, and now all of a sudden that you don't have your significant other anymore, now all of a sudden that person's attracted to you. Maybe not, I don't know, but the point is that you're going into it for the wrong reasons. And we've all done it before. I'm not judging anybody. Okay, I've done it myself. Okay, I think everyone's done it. And Carrie's toying with those ideas in this episode. So there's that. As far as catching up with the other girls, Miranda's still being a bitch. She's still pissed off. Charlotte's dating a new guy. His name is Paul Erickson. I guess he's some sort of a classical music executive for some record company or something. I guess he knows a lot about Miles Davis. Okay, whoopee-doo. All right. And then okay, and yes, of course, Samantha's still dating James, the guy with the little tiny dick with the micro penis. Okay, now it's a month later since the end of the first season. Okay, so catching up with these girls, what have we learned? Samantha's still in a relationship with this guy. They all decide that they're going to go out to a Yankees game, a baseball game. They're going to go because apparently Miranda's a big baseball fan. She's a big Yankees baseball fan. In fact, she's such a fan that we will never ever see her talk about the Yankees again in any more episodes. And she'll never talk about baseball again in any more episodes, ever. But apparently she's a huge Yankees fan because that's all she talks about in this episode. Especially when they get to the stadium, she just starts spitting out baseball statistics. She starts spitting out like who this person is, who that person is, what they batted last year, how long they've been on the team, what ranking they are, and of course the other girls just bored out of their fucking mind because it's a guy thing, and most women don't really give a shit about that stuff. I mean, I'm a guy and I don't give a shit about that stuff. I want to see. I want to see Jose Canseco play. I don't really care about how he ranked last year or anything. And I love baseball. I'm from Chicago. I mean, I was there. I was there when they won the World Series in 2003. I was there. Well, they won it in Houston, but I was there for Game 2, which was in Chicago. So I was there. So yeah, I've been a fan. I always hated the White Sox. I mean, sorry, I love the White Sox. I always hated the Cubs. I always hated the Cubs. Cubs fucking sucked. I mean, they had some great bars though. They had some great nightclubs in that area in Wrigleyville. But the Cubs sucked. I fucking hated them. I couldn't believe they won it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay. Yes, they won the World Series a few years ago. I know. I couldn't believe it either. That blew me away, but I was already gone. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point is, yes, I'm a baseball fan. Okay, like I said, White Sox. But anyway, so Miranda's a big baseball fan. She's spouting all this stupid shit. Okay. Meanwhile, the girls are all concerned with their own problems. Carrie starts looking at her past, thinking about her she says she's been on countless dates. While Miranda's spitting out statistics, Carrie says she's going over her own. Okay, she's got countless dates, 5 relationships, and 1 serious relationship. Well, I'm guessing that 1 serious relationship was big. Okay, but she's been in some other relationships that we don't know about. Okay, I never watched the Carrie Diaries. I never watched that show when Carrie was a teenager, so I don't know what the hell happened there. But it sounds to me like Big was like her first serious like relationship. Like you and me forever relationship. Ride or die. And the fact that she was already 35 when that happened is kind of sad. But who knows? The heart wants what it wants. Which that just tells us that all the other relationships she's been in before, all the other sexual partners she's had before, don't fucking matter. Okay, her really important relationships didn't start until the show started. Okay, and by then she's already 35. Now she's 36. Okay, so that's how long she waited. Okay, forget about having kids. All right, she waited till she was in her mid-30s before she would just get serious with somebody. Okay, that should tell you something right there. Okay. Anyway, so that's what Carrie's going through her head. Samantha is over here. She's still obsessed with her boyfriend's little penis. One big happy family. James, me, and his tiny little penis were one big happy family. And she's fantasizing about other men's junk. Their penises, because they're obviously all of them have bigger penises than her boyfriend's. She even pulls out a tiny little wiener and shows that to Carrie. Like, how is this? Would this satisfy you? Would this little thing satisfy you? Huh? How do you think I feel? I know you're heartbroken about Big. I know that hurts your feelings, okay? But look at me. Look what I gotta deal with. I gotta deal with this tiny little fucking thing. How the fuck am I gonna get off of this? Like that's her biggest concern, And Charlotte, she's got her own problems. Her boyfriend, he cannot stop playing with his crotch in public. He keeps scratching his crotch. He's got like permanent jock itch or something, because he's always grabbing his crotch and adjusting himself, And she doesn't know. It's really turning her off. It's bothering her. She doesn't know how to deal with it. So that's going on here. We'll ask. Let's see, little penis. So anyway, so they're at the baseball game. There's a foul ball somewhere in one of the innings, and Carrie catches the ball. So Miranda's all like, "Oh my God, with a chance to are you catching a ball? A fly ball? But I guess she caught it. Whatever." So she uses her press pass to go back to the locker room, okay, to hang out in front of the players' locker room, where they go into to take a shower and change their clothes. Yeah, she decides to hang out there because she wants to get her ball autographed by the baseball player that hit it, that fouled it out into the stands. So they're waiting there. Let's see here. Okay, Samantha's checking out everyone's package. Every guy that walks back there, she's looking at their junk, at their crotch, And she's like, "Oh my God, that guy, he's hung." And because Miranda's like, "You know what? He's wearing a cup." And she's like, Smith's like, "Oh, well, his cup runneth over." She's just obsessed with big fucking cocks. Okay, she's just obsessed with it. Okay, she's obsessed with it because she don't have it. Okay, no. Okay, now I got to raise a bullshit flag here. Okay, I mentioned this in my last review. Okay, on episode 12 of season 1. Okay. If a guy has a little penis, he knows he has a little penis, okay? This guy, James, does not realize he has a little penis yet. He looks like he's fucking 37 years old, and he does not realize that he has a little penis. Okay, I raise the bullshit flag on that. And the fact that it's been a month already and Samantha hasn't brought it to his attention. In fact, no woman has ever brought it to his attention because he still does not realize that he has a little penis. I'm raising the bullshit flag again. Okay, Samantha, this woman who just like goes through she goes through men like toilet paper. Okay, what is so special about this guy that she actually decided to, one, get in a relationship with him, two, stay faithful to him, three, not be able to tell him that he's got a little dick. I mean, this is so out of character for Samantha. I don't know what it was about this guy that won her over. We never really saw him seduce her. Okay, we never saw him, we never knew what they were talking about. What were their conversations about? What was some deep insights about each other that they discovered so that us as the audience, we could discover it too? Nothing. They didn't show any of that. They went straight from, Samantha meets this guy, and also they're in a relationship now, and now the bummer is he's got a little penis. But we don't know how they got into a relationship, okay? We don't know how their relationship is working either, because they've been together for a month, and she still hasn't told him that he's got a little dick. And he has not asked her, hey, do you like my dick? He's like completely oblivious. He calls her his princess. Really? You're going to call her and he tells her, I love you. I love you, my princess. I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? First of all, how do you fit 4 women in the backseat of a car, number one? And number two, if Samantha's your princess, then you obviously don't know shit about her. Okay? Now, this is a rookie mistake, okay? Guys, when we're like 19, 20, 22, 23, we make stupid mistakes like this, okay? We fall in love really fast without realizing, what kind of woman are we falling in love with here, okay? This guy's making, but he's like in his late 30s, okay? And he's making this mistake with Samantha, no less, okay? Come on, Samantha. I mean, yeah, she's a pretty girl, but she's not a 10, okay? She's not a 10, all right? And if no woman knew that this guy had a little dick, he could probably get better looking girls, okay? So why is he in love with Samantha? What is it about Samantha that you would fall in love with that would make a guy want to put a ring on it? Would make a guy say, I love you. The only kind of guy that would fall in love with Samantha is a guy who doesn't have sex very often. Okay, now you can make the argument, well, James doesn't have sex very often because he's a little dick, but he's not aware that he has a little dick. If he knew that he had a little dick, that would be something. That would be him like, oh my God, I can't get a girl. At least this girl will have sex with me because no other woman will because I got a little dick. But he's not even aware of that. He has no idea that he has a little dick. So that's why I can't go with that narrative because that just doesn't make sense. So why is he in love with Samantha? Okay, he doesn't know anything about her. If he did, he wouldn't be in love with her. Okay, he wouldn't. All right? If he knew that she's fucking, she's smoked more meat than Hickory Farms, he probably wouldn't fall in love with her. Okay? A guy like him, college educated, he's an attorney, sharp dresser, lives in New York, this guy wouldn't fall in love with a woman like Samantha. I'm sorry, ladies. I know you love Samantha. I love her too. Okay? But I'm just telling you, this is the guy's point of view. This is the kind of shit that the gay guys, the feminists, and the lesbians that write these episodes aren't going to tell you this stuff. Okay, they're not going to put it in the episode. You know why? Because they don't want you to know. Because number one, they don't know, and number two, they don't want you to know. Okay, but I have nothing to lose by telling you this stuff. Okay, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the shit that the other guys aren't going to tell you. Okay, I'm telling you the shit that your boyfriend and your husband are not going to tell you. Okay, and watch this episode. I'm raising the bullshit flag. This guy doesn't realize he has a small penis. Okay, why is he in love with Samantha? We don't know. Why is he in love with Samantha? We don't know. What is it about Samantha that's worth loving? She's cool. I mean, she fucks a lot of guys. She's cool, very self-confident. That's awesome for a friend. Like if I wanted a wingman or someone that I just wanted to fuck every once in a while, yeah, but take her seriously? Like fall in love with her? Like take her to meet my folks? Like take her to the Meg Ryan flick? No! It's the last woman in the world I'd ever want to fucking marry, much less have kids with. Can she imagine how she would raise our daughter? Are you fucking kidding me? And she's too old. So, so if a guy like him is going to fall in love with a woman like Samantha, it would be a woman like Samantha who's at least 10 years younger. At least 10 years younger. At least that way, because he's thinking marriage, kids, I want to have a family. I love this woman, even though I don't realize she's a slut, So, yeah. And the fact that, that he's completely oblivious. I'm guessing he's oblivious to her past because he doesn't bring it up. Or, so either he doesn't know or he doesn't care. I don't know which one's worse, honestly, because either there's a lack of communication or this guy just has no standards. Okay, I don't know which one's worse. Okay. But anyway, that's how I feel about that. Okay, so moving right along. Samantha's checking out every guy's cock, and she's looking at this black guy that's in there. Okay, now listen, I've been around locker rooms. I used to work at the Cowboy Stadium. Yes, I've had a lot of jobs. I used to work at the Cowboy Stadium. Okay, the locker room there, you can't. The one door does not just give you a huge fucking peek of all the guys in there getting dressed. Okay, that's not how it works. There's a couple of passages you got to go through before you get into the main locker room. Okay, so you can't leave the door open and anyone standing there can just look and see all the players' junk hanging out, walking around naked. Okay, that's not how it works. Okay, obviously the people that filmed this episode had never been into had never been to a professional baseball stadium, okay, and looked at a locker room. It's not one door and then also you can see everything in there. So if someone leaves the door open, you can see everyone's cock. No, that's not how it works. Okay. Anyway, so just getting that out there because they spent a good slow-mo scene where she's just like looking at everyone's fucking stuff, and it's just like, come on. Anyway, so what was the thesis of the episode? The thesis of the episode was actually called "What are the breakup rules?" Okay. So Miranda gets jealous because Carrie flirts with a baseball player that knocked out the foul ball. He signs it, and she asks him out. She asks him out on a date. Okay, and we still don't know his name. Miranda gets all jealous. Oh no, this ain't his wife, but you're supposed to get an ugly rebound guy, not the hot baseball player guy. That's not how this rebound's supposed to work. Anyway, Miranda's just being a jealous bitch. Whatever. Okay, they go back to their first person interviews again, which is stupid. Oh, don't cry, or wait 3 months. Okay, so that's enough time to lose all the weight that you put on while you were dating. Just stupid shit like that. Don't sign anything. Just dumb first person shit. I'm so tired of that. It's such an old trope. They never should have done it in the first place, and they're still doing it in the second season. Goddamn, I thought because they didn't do it in episode 12 of the first season, I thought that's when they stopped doing it. But nah, here we are, episode 1 of season 2, and they're doing it again, which is just dumb. Okay, moving right along. Okay, so Carrie's still frantic. She's got a date with this guy, this baseball player. She goes on a double date. It's going to be her and him with Charlotte and her new boyfriend, the guy Paul Erickson. The guy's always grabbing his crotch. He's talking to the baseball player about Miles Davis, because I guess he's in the music industry. And he just keeps grabbing his crotch so much that Charlotte gets embarrassed. She grabs his hand, like, quit grabbing your crotch, So that happens. Well, Carrie's still hallucinating Big everywhere. Like at the party, she sees a guy she thinks Big is there. Then all of a sudden she blinks and it's not Big, it's someone else. So she's totally seeing things. She's still thinking about Big in her subconscious, which is kind of fucking up everything. So Joe, we find out that she goes off with the baseball player. We find she keeps calling him Yankee guy. She's called Yankee guy. Yeah, he plays for the Yankees. He's Yankee guy. Is that what she calls him? Yeah, Yankee guy. Yeah, whatever. Yankee guy. All right, so we find his name. He's actually got a name. Okay, we find out later on, like more than halfway in the episode, we find out that his name is Joe Stark, and he's a baseball player. We don't know what position he plays for the Yankees, but he's a baseball player for the Yankees. His name's Joe Stark. And so, of course, the typical, they're walking down the sidewalk together, talking to each other at night, walking together down the sidewalk, which, yes, in the big city, yeah, I've done that so many times, yes, it's true. We do that stuff. I'm trying to remember because one of the rules is that the guy always stands. He always walks towards the side with the street. I don't know who made those rules, but I just remember a girl pointed it out to me once. I don't know why I just thought of that, but every time I see a couple walking down the street in big city, I think, okay, what side is the guy on? He's supposed to be on that side. Some unwritten rule that we all have to follow because that way if a car comes, it'll hit us instead of her. Because my life doesn't mean shit. It's her life that's important, right? Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Yes, okay. So they start talking. The next day they start. She kisses Yankee guy Joe Stark. She kisses him on the date. Whatever. It's the first kiss she's had. It's been a month since her and Big broke up. Okay. The next day she's out with the girls again, having lunch or dinner, whatever the fuck. And Samantha shows the newspaper. There's a picture of her because it was a public event. The date they were on, the double date she was on, was a public event. So there's a picture of him and Carrie. So Joe and Carrie are in a picture in the newspaper together. So of course the gossip column, oh, they're dating now, blah, blah, whatever. So I'm sure the whole city has seen it. Okay, they're all excited. Oh, Big's going to see this in the paper. He's going to be so jealous, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And Samantha's there, and Miranda's just being a bitch as usual. Okay, she's tired of Carrie talking about this guy. She's tired of Carrie talking about Big. She's tired of Samantha always talking about her boyfriend's little penis, and now Charlotte Charlotte brings up a topic, okay, and the topic is about her boyfriend, who she has not had sex with yet, who's always grabbing his crotch, and shaking his crotch in public, that's her problem. So finally Miranda just fucking loses her shit, and she just fucking gets up and is like, fuck this shit, I'm tired of this, She's like, well, all we ever do is talk about big balls and little dicks. That's all we ever talk about anymore. She's like, what the fuck? We're all like you're all like a bunch of seventh graders with bank accounts. Like, what the fuck is all this? I didn't come here just so we can talk about guys all the fucking time. Why does it always got to be about them? Those disgusting things that walk around with penises. Why the fuck do we always got to talk about them? We're strong, independent, self-empowered women. And you females are not being feminist enough. How dare you fail the Bechdel test? Okay, well, you know what, you fucking little bitch. Why don't you sit your fucking ass down, your ugly ass down, okay, and listen to some fucking criticism, okay? The show is called Sex in the City. It's not called self-entitled, rich, white, fucking professional women who want to play the victim, privileged white women who want to play the fucking victim, rich, privileged white women who want to play the fucking victim in the city. That's not the name of the show. It's called Sex in the City. The show's about sex, okay? And just because you ain't getting any doesn't mean you have to fucking put the other women down for it, okay? Anyway, sorry. So, of course, Miranda's just being Miranda, She's just pissed off. She's just jealous and pissed off, like usual. But she ain't going to say that, okay? Earlier in the episode, they brought up, I think Carrie brought up that because Carrie was dealing with the breakup, I can't remember if it was Charlotte or Carrie that brought up when Miranda had a breakup a few years ago that we never saw it. Some guy broke her heart or something, and it took her a long time to get over it. Like, she never really got over it, And she said, like, oh yeah, I got over it real fast, but nobody knows. Charlotte's idea is that it takes half the time of the relationship to get over somebody. So if you were together for a year, it's going to take you 6 months to get over him. Okay, that's Charlotte's math for you, okay? Of course, Carrie starts, shopping like crazy. The girls actually agree with Miranda. They're like, yeah, you're right. All we ever do is talk about men, Holy shit, on a show called Sex in the City? No fucking shit, all they do is talk about men. Wow. Honestly, I don't think you talk about men enough on this show, okay? At least not real men, okay? You talk about caricatures of men, okay? I'm the one that's actually talking about men, okay? This YouTube channel, this is where I talk about the men, okay? They don't talk about the men on the show. They talk about caricatures of men, what they think men are, okay? Not men. All right, so anyway, so Carrie's doing her shopaholic thing. Samantha's trying all these different positions to have sex with James. She tries, legs up, legs down, butt up, butt down. Having his pelvis way up in the air so she can feel as much of it as possible. None of this shit works. Finally, while they're doing it doggy style, of course she's barking out words like, "What the hell are you doing back there? Come on!" And he's completely oblivious to the fact that he's got a little penis. He completely oblivious to the fact that she is not satisfied. He doesn't realize it at all. It doesn't even enter his frame of thought that his partner might not be satisfied. Okay, the fact that she's acting like she's not satisfied doesn't even occur to him that she might not be satisfied. Okay, or that he has a little penis. It does not occur to him at all. Like that's the last thing that he's thinking about. Okay, if he ever thought about it at all. Like, I don't think he's ever even considered that in his mind, that he might have a little penis. No one ever brought that to his attention. No one ever told him that. He never noticed another guy and then looked at his own stuff and go like, oh, am I lacking? No, that never happened to him. Okay, so all this is like, completely out of his realm of possibilities, right? Samantha even tries to use a vibrator. He's like, aren't I enough? And she's like, ugh, and she turns it off. Okay, no, you're not enough, dude. And if you talk to her, that's what I don't understand. Why aren't they talking? Why didn't she talk to him? Why didn't she tell him? Okay, all the shit that she tells her girlfriends, why didn't she tell him that? He's the one that needs to know. Okay? Why didn't he tell her that? I said that my last review. Why didn't he bring it up before they even had sex? Okay? Because he doesn't realize he has a little dick. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. Guys don't do this. Okay? Like I said, last time I'll say it again, okay? If a man has a tiny little penis, he already knows he has a tiny penis, okay? Somebody already told him that, okay? Way before you got there, okay? He knows it, okay? He's probably self-conscious about it, okay? So he's probably going to be the one, if he's got any sort of courage, he's going to be the one to bring it up first. No pun intended, but he's going to be the one that's going to bring it up first before you have sex. Just to see how you feel about it first, before you keep going, But he's not going to pretend it doesn't exist. He's not going to pretend he doesn't have one. Come on. That's bullshit. This guy doesn't even realize he's got a little dick, and Samantha's not going to tell him? Come on. I call bullshit on that. This is the time that Samantha wants to be coy. Why? What's so special about this guy? You have no problem hurting the feelings of other guys. Well, why wouldn't you do that to him? Okay. All right. So anyway. Charlotte decides to buy her new boyfriend Paul some not boxer, well, I guess some boxers, yeah, some underwear, because she thinks that That's the reason he's always scratching himself, is because his underwear isn't good. Of course, the guy Paul flips out. He's like, so we've only been dating 3 weeks. We haven't even had sex yet, and you're already buying me underwear? What's next? You're gonna move in? And what's gonna be after that, huh? Then you're gonna tell me you don't like my music? Huh? Where do we go from there, huh? Once again, okay, it's the same shit that happened last episode with that guy, the playwright. I forgot his name. I think his name was John, okay? When he just like went off on a tirade on Miranda, this guy goes off on a tirade with Charlotte, okay? Because she bought him some fucking underwear, okay? Like, what in the fuck would trigger this guy to act that way? Why the fuck are guys on the show acting that way all the time? Okay, I can understand it for being one episode where a guy would act this way just to show some diversity or something, but you can't have 2 guys in a row, 2 episodes in a row acting the exact same fucking way. Okay, no, that's not realistic. Okay, first of all, this guy would not do it. If I was dating a girl for 3 weeks and we hadn't had sex yet, okay, and she bought me some underwear, I'd be like, oh wow, okay, thanks. Are they my brand? Are they the right kind? Because we never had sex, so you don't know what kind of fucking underwear I wear. And you didn't ask me what size it was, so how the fuck would you know what size I wear? Since we never had sex, but okay, thanks for the underwear, That's what I would have done, okay? But the fact that they've never had sex right there tells me this is bullshit. I don't believe it at all. The fact that he would go on a tirade for something stupid as petty as that, as underwear, no, I don't believe that at all. This is just a plot contrivance, it's a plot device just to get the guy to act like an asshole so we can get rid of him real quick and move on with the story. Okay, he really served no purpose. It was just he was just like a side character that meant nothing in this episode. Okay, a subplot that went nowhere, just to have Charlotte to have something to do. Okay, but no guy would ever act like this. Okay, not over underwear. Okay, that's not a big deal. Okay, you give me underwear and it doesn't fit or something, big fucking deal. What bothers me more, okay, and the reason I'm gonna raise up the bullshit flag is not because of that, although it is bullshit. The bigger bullshit here is that they went 3 weeks without even having sex. Like, what the fuck is that? How did that fucking happen? 3 weeks, really? I don't buy it. I don't buy that at all. Okay, no. And then he's gonna act this way, I don't buy why would Charlotte not even tell him, why do you go grab your crotch all the time? It's just the same thing Samantha's doing. Samantha won't tell her boyfriend he's got a little dick. Charlotte won't tell this guy, her boyfriend, that he keeps grabbing his crotch and that it bothers her. Like, why do you do that? You're embarrassing me. It embarrassing. I'm not saying that she should say it that way, but she should at least bring it up, and she doesn't. Why? Why doesn't she bring it up? Instead, she would rather buy him some underwear as a way of letting him know that without letting him know. Well, how come these women just don't communicate with their boyfriends? Why the fuck does that not happen on the show? Why do they not just tell their boyfriends, hey, listen, you're doing this and it bothers me. Or this is something that you have and it bothers me. Why don't they just fucking do that? Okay? Guys don't respond to this bullshit. Why you gotta go out of your way and buy underwear or try all these stupid ass positions just to get to the heart of the fucking problem? What's the problem? That's just it. Why aren't these women doing that? Are they afraid of hurting their feelings? Because these guys have no problem hurting your feelings. They got no problem going off on tirades. Once again, I raise the bullshit flag. Bullshit. Okay? All right. So, meanwhile, back to Carrie. Carrie's out with Joe, okay, a Yankee guy. Okay, Joe Stark is his name. They're at a bar. And they're kind of getting close. And guess what? Big is there. Big is at the same bar. Because like I said, in New York's really only the size of one block. So you're always going to bump into each other every single episode. All right? So Big's there. He actually comes up to her. And says hi to him. He already knows who this guy is. He saw the picture in the paper. He's a Yankees fan. Big is a Yankees fan, so he already knows who Joe Stark is. Yes, I've seen you play. You're really good. I've been following your career. I know who you are. I've seen you before. I've seen you in the game. So that's kind of cool. That Big would know this guy. He's a sports fan. So once again, points on Big. And Carrie's there, and Carrie just kind of just loses it. And he whispers in her ear, it's like, hey, she's just like, I saw the picture in the paper, and he whispers in her ear, it's like, hey, you never look better. And then he walks away, the slow-mo walk, and the shh. The same one they used in the second episode of And Just Like That. When Carrie was remembering Big, it's the same fucking scene. Okay, that's it. So now Carrie's having a fucking meltdown. Oh my god, Big is here. So all her insecurities happen again. She's been seeing Big this whole time when he wasn't there. Now he really is there, and she can't handle it. So she's walking with Joe down the street. He tries to kiss her, and she's like, "No, I can't do it. It's not you. I can't. You're the guy in there, him and I." And he doesn't understand. He legit doesn't understand why she's acting this crazy. I think he's trying to put 2 and 2 together. Like, okay, well, maybe she had something with this guy before, And she's like, just go away, just go away, just go away. And he's like, well, what's wrong? He's like, okay, I'll go away then. And she leaves. She leaves him there. What a bitch. What a bitch. You know, I mean, I know she's emotionally upset, okay, but she ain't the only person there. It's him too, you know, and it would be cool, you know. I mean, I know she said that it's not you, but the fact that everything was going great and now all of a sudden she's crying and won't kiss him and just like what the fuck happened? Like, wouldn't a normal guy want to know what happened? I know I would. I'd want to know why you acting this way now. Like everything was so fine a few minutes ago. Now you're acting this way, you know? Like, well, what happened? Did something happen with you and this guy? I mean, well, why are you crying on me all of a sudden? Why are you being so emotionally distant from me? We were just fine earlier, you know? And she gives her no explanation. She's like, okay, just get the fuck out away from me. You know, so he does. He gets the fuck away. He does the right thing. He just leaves her, you know? All confused, look on his face like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm like, dude, you dodged a bullet, man. This woman is fucking is psycho. She's emotionally neurotic. She's neurotic. Carrie's neurotic, okay? I mean, I understand she had an emotional breakdown, but that's not when you have an emotional breakdown. You don't have, any adult would not have an emotional breakdown in front of a guy on a date, okay? You would say, hey, can we just end the date? I don't feel good right now, you know, so something bad happened. And he's like, okay, fine. You know, he'll walk you home, that's it. And then you cry, okay? And then you call Miranda like she does. Okay, and now the episode makes us think that she's calling Big, but she's really calling Miranda. Miranda had her own thing going on here. She was walking down the street looking like shit, like always. You know, she had her fucking her Chucky from Child's Play, you know, serial killer, overalls on, and she ran into her ex-boyfriend, the one that they mentioned earlier, Eric, the one that dumped her. Well, he's there. He's with the same girl that he dumped her for. So Miranda's all like, oh shit, she's hiding, making sure he doesn't see her, and all of a sudden she gets all fucking emotional. That big speech about like, why was I talking about men? Well, now she's all fucking, oh, there's a guy over there, all fucking cowardly like she really is, all that feminist bullshit, like she's strong, like she's a fucking coward. Okay, but see, I knew that back then. I knew that about Miranda. Okay, I knew that all this feminist, tough, I'm a strong, independent woman, bull fucking shit. You're a coward. You're a coward fucking bitch. Cowardly bitch, okay? Okay, and now you're showing your true colors. Okay, once you put her in the hot seat, she can't fucking handle the heat. She got to get out of the kitchen. Okay, and that's what's happening here. But at least I respected her back then for it because I understand. I knew where it was coming from. She wasn't being a bitch just to be a bitch. She was being a bitch to hide her own insecurities. Okay, and that's what she's doing here. So she shows up. Carrie and Miranda show up, and they start talking in the diner. Okay, and Carrie's like, you know what? I had forgotten what it was like until I saw him. Until I saw my ex. With that girl that he dumped me for. I had forgotten what it was like to feel what you're feeling right now. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for acting the way I did. You take as much time as you need to get over him. I'm sorry that I yelled at you and the other girls for talking about this. Because I'd forgotten what it was like to feel that way, and I'd forgotten how long it takes to get over someone like that. So, I'm sorry. Hey, and Miranda won me some points right there. She really did. That she actually had some empathy for a change, for her friend going through. She had to be reminded what it was like before she could realize what other people are going through. Because she doesn't put herself in other people's shoes. She wants them to fit into her shoes. And all of a sudden she realized, oh my God, here I am yelling at the girls for talking about their men, the problems they're having with their men, but I'd forgotten what it was like to have problems with my man. And now that I remember it, it's like, oh my God, yeah, I'm still not over it. I thought I was over it. It was years ago, and all of a sudden all those feelings came right. Once I saw him, all those feelings came right back. All those negative feelings that I had about the breakup came right back. So I understand. So I'm sorry. Kudos. Now that's the way to end the episode. All right. Okay, so I'm going to end this review there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll give you the episode 2 here very soon for season 2. All right. Thank you.